Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a pro Dota commentary. This commentary is affiliate DC. For more commentary content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. Again, if you notice, this is 6.72B. I think that was B. Not sure, because there's a Broodmother in this game, so that should make a difference. Hopefully I could tell what the Broodmother by, what kind of stuff she's holding. I could tell if it's C or B. We'll see. So this is a UIP game versus LGD UIP you have not heard of. I have not heard of. No big deal. And if you're wondering why I haven't been casting much lately, is mostly because there's pretty bad replays on Ghost Gamer lately. Like every night I come home, I'll be like, yo, I need to do a cast because I haven't done a cast for a long time. And well, we get very much one-sided games on Ghost Gamer for a very long time. So you may be thinking, well, Luminous, since you gave us that preface, does that mean that this game won't be a one-sided game? This game will mean it's going to be very interesting, we're well fought, and 80-minute epic slugfest? No, it's going to be a one-sided game as well. But I will tell you this: I'd rather watch a Chinese one-sided game than a European one-sided game. Not because I hate, not because I have some Chinese fanboys, and I do. But the reason I want to cast a Chinese one-sided game is that I was really captured by the hero selection of this game. You could tell that I'm speeding through the picks and bans. I usually sit down and talk about it, especially if it's a Chinese game. We're like, you know what, Doom is a good pick here because blah 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 and blah. But yeah, we'll just speed through the pick and ban because there's some funky heroes that we never see Chinese do, and it's especially a bonus when the Chinese pick outside of their standard 25 heroes, because we don't ever see Chinese picking random shit. And let me tell you, there's gonna be a void, yes, a void in this game, and also a Darkseer. Now we have seen the Darkseer back in a while, back in I think early stage of 6.9, where Kunga was still quite popular. We had some Darkseer Kunga action, but Void has really faded out into the competitive scene, where the creep skeeping Darkseer is just not that popular. I am going to slow down to 5x and kind of just talk about the bans so far. So UIP is going to go for a very push heavy strat. So far they picked up 3 melee. So what? Not 3 melee, 3 solos. So what that suggests is that they're going to do a type of jungler, a type of roamer as well. And they are going to do a jungle with the Lycan. Meanwhile, YYF answers back with a Darkseer, which right now, if you look at the Windrunner, the Syllabear, and the Broodmother, all of them has insane mobility. So having a Darkseer there is actually a pretty good pick. Not so much for the vacuum, which is what Darkseer is famous for, but more so for that surge, which the Syllabear, the Broodmother, and the Windrunner are all exceptional chasers. If you pop a surge on whoever they're chasing, it's going to be a very easy time in terms of escaping and whatnot. Also, the Doombringer has Scourge Earth, so he could run very quickly. And now we see a Void last pick by LGD, and again, another escape mechanism. And now I have the game paused at the 11:11. So for everyone that's watching live, please get there as I talk about the remainder of the picks and bans. So we see a Void last pick, which I don't think LGD is being serious at all, just judging from the picks. UIP is playing their hearts out because they're going to go for aggressive try-hard push strat. They do have very good hero for that, and also I like the Venge last pick. It's a kind of dual-purpose pick. First, it's going to be for the swap. Right after the Void was picked up, they want the swap to either swap out the Void or to swap out the whoever the Void's focusing. Now, in any other case, I think Void is just... his ultimate is very easily countered. You could grab Avenge, you could grab Mobile Force Staff, you could grab Eel Scepters. Force Staff now no longer works within the Chronosphere, which I think is completely BS. But you can still very easily counter him with Eel Scepters and whatnot, and of course swap in this case. Now in UIP, in UIP's case, they won't be getting Force Scepters or Eel Scepters because it just doesn't fit with their hero. So a swap is going to be good in that first case. In the second case, Venge is just simply a good pusher because of Terror lowering everyone's armors and whatnot. So that's also is a good sight spell. What pushing generally is weak against ganking. Also weak against very weak against Doom and Darkseer. Because hold on, telephone pausing. And I'm back from the telephone. With that totally distracted me from what I was saying. Oh yeah, Venge is good for pushing. I think that should be it. Oh yeah, I was talking about how Doom and Darkseer are good counter pushing heroes. Not well, they do have some AoE in terms of destroying a push, especially that Iron Shell. But what they're really good at is running at your team. And if you're not strong enough, if you're not having a high enough DPS, it's going to be really difficult to bring down those two heroes. And kind of they will just nullify your push by just running at your team. And there's nothing much you could do. Also, the Sentinel hero gotta be careful when they're clumping, because there is a Chronosphere. And when you're pushing in lineup, you tend to clump very hard on the enemy tower. So I think YYF, even though he's picking some of the weirdest heroes that we have not seen, the Darkseer, the Chronosphere with the Void, all of them make a strategic choice. So with that, I'm gonna unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So let's look at how the laning is going to be. For the Sentinel side, we're going to probably see like in the jungle. And then like I said earlier, we have 3 very strong solo. That is the Broodmother, the Syllabear, and the Windrunner. We might see a dueling with the Venge and the Windrunner, or we might see a dueling of the Syllabear and the Venge. In either case, it's going to be a strong duel lane. It has a lot of killing potential, especially if it's a Windrunner Venge lane. A lot of nuke, a lot of stuns. So it's good. We are seeing the Lycan already summoning Wolf to scout. I like what he's doing. Again, I think I pointed out in one of my other commentaries, if you're Lycan jungling, do what he's doing right now. Stay in the jungle, use your Wolves to scout, and then also maybe around 10 second when you're counting up, you could summon another pair of Wolf, send it to a level 1 camp, heal your mana up to full, and then you could walk into the jungle with full mana and a pair of Wolf already summoned. We are looking at Scourge lane. We have a trialing of a Shaker, and this Venge completely out of position. Oh, this is not how you're going to ward a Great Fisher Trap, and then that is the Venomous Scale going on a Venge. No, not even having neutral creeps to deny it. And let's see if ZSMJ is going to... Yeah, he does. ZSMJ, the last hit king, gets a last hit on that Venge, and that is the first, but eventually get a pair of wards off. So I guess not all of her efforts was in vain, but that was a very expensive ward. ZSMJ actually bought a courier. Someone print screened this shit. Oh wow. Alright, okay. Alright, I thought he was going to go for a quick Vanguard or something, but no, he's going to be a team player, which I guess that's cool. He's going to pick up a DD rune as well, so that is going to help his CS quite a bit. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, we have seen more and more of this lately, giving the ward to the bot solo, and now we have the entire jungle being warded off. I guess, well, that's a good counter to Lycan, but Lycan's going to spend most of his time, again, jungling here and here, which, you know, no big deal. Meanwhile, we're going to, in the mid lane, we're going to see a Broodmother versus Doom. This is YYF Doom, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Doom player in the world. His farm on Doom is basically exceptional. I think his record, or not record, but his norm is getting around a 20-minute radiance with Vanguard and Treads, or Vanguard and Face. That is around like 10k gold of items. That's just ridiculous amount of farm, even on a Doom. I'm not exactly too sure what his skill build is, but I've heard that he actually level up Devour, which is non-standard, at least in the European view of how to build Doom. But we'll see as this game progresses. So meanwhile, on the top lane here, faces for level 3 and 2 is the CS, and this Windrunner completely kept back. Windrunner now doing the correcting, going back in the lane and start blocking. Hopefully, eventually, the creep wave will end up to her side of tower, because it's just not feasible where she would, you know, try to get a little bit of EXP, because C2 supports, it's going to put her in the killing range very easily. There's a long range Fisher. The Venomous Scale is not a short range just now. Now she's under the tower focus, cover of the tower, so she can get some EXP. Not gonna get any creep at all, because these guys are doing a very good job in terms of denying whatnot. But she's gonna get some EXP regardless. Meanwhile, this Lycan realized that his entire jungle is warded off. Now it's forced to go to the Sentinel jungle, and that is gonna put him in a very dangerous position. Fortunately for him right now. Actually, was he checking for a rune? No. What was he doing? I was gonna say, fortunately for him right now, the Sentinel does not, the Scourge does not know that. What the hell is he doing? He's not going back in the jungle. I guess he's waiting. Don't block your creep! Wow. Lycan just blocked his own spawn. That was facepalm. That was pretty facepalm. So, looking at the bot lane here, Darkseer is actually having a pretty tough time, but he is level 3 though. So, looking at the level disparity between the Venge and the Darkseer, excuse me, not the Venge, the Windrunner and the Darkseer, you can see that Darkseer is holding his own as bot lane. It's okay, I suppose. Darkseer could always drop down that shield, Iron Shell, and he's going to have a fairly easy time sort of grabbing CS. He's actually pretty farm as well, 10 and 2 against the dual lane of Avenge and Syllabear. That's not bad at all. When you have a stable jungler, or not a full-time jungler such as Lycan, you're gonna lose out a lot of ganks. Basically, you're gonna have zero gank. So what Sentinel right now is hoping for that is that they will just win every one of their lane without any roaming ganks, which is a lot to ask for. Like, you have to have very good players, high individual skill players to do that. Or you just have to have very good heroes. In either case, I don't think they have either. Not to get me wrong, I'm pretty sure UIP is a skill player, but I think compared to LGD, they're not going to be as skilled, right? So their lane, in terms of killing potential, they're not going to kill anything. Broodmother might get a kill on Doom, but with Scourge Earth as taken as a priority, most likely by YYF, I don't think YYF is going to go down. Syllabir is not going to get a kill at all on Darkseer, and then meanwhile on top lane, ZSMG is not going to go down at all. So I don't think the Sentinel can get any kill. On the other hand, I think Scourge could very easily get kills. They have a Fissure, they have a Venomous Scale. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, I think the Surge with the Darkseer, with Iron Shell, they can actually get the Venge if the Venge is not careful enough. So in this case, UIP is hoping to win every single lane just through outlaning the opponent, which I don't think is gonna work. So whatever early game Sentinel has, I don't think it will pay off. What they will make a big strike on is during the mid game, because they are a mid game pushing lineup. Spawn Spiderlings. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, we have the Windrunner completely being blocked off. Actually a very good block from the Shaker. CH picks up a very easy kill through the good block. Venomancer very low HP, but it's going to be fine. As I was saying earlier, Sentinel is going to hope that they win the mid game because they do have Spawn Spiderling. They do have the Wolves from Lycan, which by the way is just a high source of DPS. And now it looks like Doombringer might be a little bit trouble. He turns on the Scourge Earth. That is I can't tell what level of Scourge Earth that is. Can I click on one of these creeps? How can you even tell? It doesn't say. I'm guessing that's a level 2 Scourge Earth, maybe level 3. I haven't been paying close attention to the skill build of of Doom. No big deal though. I don't think it will matter that much. Yeah, it shouldn't matter that much. Doom. I mean, well, I was gonna say a lot of European Dooms like to hold off on their level def. I think G does that a lot. Hold on with level def as we see an engagement at the tower. Looks like Darkseid has one down to avenge, and now Shaker is gonna turn around. Here comes the Venomous Scale, is gonna hit, and there's a great Fissure blocking, but this bear is focusing a lot of the damage on the Shaker. Shaker might go down. Oh no, Shaker does not go down. Levels up, but the Entangle is gonna bring him down. A double kill goes on the Silver Bear, trading his death on it. I guess that's a good trade, I suppose. Let me see. Yeah, he's okay. It's 19 and 3, not the best farm in 5 minutes in, but it's suffice, especially when he picks up 2 kills. So he is most likely gonna go for Radiance. The Broodmother might be going for a BKB, and then we have a Vlad's most likely on the Lycanthrope. So that is gonna be a somewhat scary pushing lineup if they can get all their items and whatnot. But again, they gonna hope they win the early game phase. Looks like they won't, and we have a level def, so. Was that level 1 level def? Yeah, I think he got the bonus damage on a level 6 Brood. So yeah, I guess that's a level 1 level def. And we have a level 6 Doom already, critically no mana, so can't cast anything. Does have the bottom. Looks like Void is camping the rune. ZSMJ is actually playing very supportive this game. He's camping the runes, he's buying curls, which is very un-ZSMJ-esque. Again, this might be the fact that they're not trying very hard. They might actually go for the Brood kill. I don't think, again, ZSMJ pops out hoping for some time bash, and it actually time lapses, or time walks a... Or is it backtrack? Yeah, backtracks at Spawn Spiderling. He might have died if he didn't backtrack that, so very lucky from ZSMJ. I was saying ZSMJ playing very supportive, camping for the runes, buying couriers. Usually we don't see ZSMJ doing that. It's actually allowing the Venomancer to get some farm. So again, this is a sign that LGD is not playing it, absolutely seriously. But it's fine. It's fine. I'd rather see a Void and a Darkseer than a lot of the currently one-sided games in the European scene, which it's one-sided and they don't have interesting heroes, so I'm not really into that. Meanwhile, looking at bot lane here, we do have Syllabear with the Orb of Venom. Here we go, Darkseer being aggressive. He's just gonna creep skip, which is gonna be fine. The Syllabear is gonna come in to harass, even though the Syllabear has a lot of HP. The Iron Shell just do a buttload of damage if you tank it all. If you want to calculate all of the Iron Shell damage, it actually comes out to some ridiculously number. He senses a gang coming in, and he's gonna try to surge out. Actually gets a little bit greedy and turns back, and I think he might go down as well. Here comes Avenge, and he he's already at half HP. There's a terror, and where's a magic missile? There's a great magic missile. He's actually waiting for the surge, but unfortunately Doom comes in, and here comes a Doom on the Syllabur. Syllabur extremely low HP. I don't think he's gonna survive through that. And here comes the Entangle, though. There's an Iron Shell and Surge as well. Is he gonna chase down the Doom? No, Doom very low HP is gonna run out as well. Syllabur meanwhile is Syllabur survives with like 20 HP. So no kills for either team. That is very, very interesting. Meanwhile, we have a Glove of Haste being picked up, which I like that choice.